Another protest rises during a graduation ceremony.
We will not stop until they properly come to the negotiation table in good faith.
Our DC Bureau is live with the latest on the walkouts. President Biden addresses on a specific drug use.
And I'm committed to righting those wrongs.
A monumental step in U.S. history. And a historic discovery of a bug in one state.
So I came over and explained what they were to him.
All thanks to a little kid. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Anthony Cruz.
I'm Valentina Gaspari. Today is Monday, May 20th, 2024.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Loss of a leader in Iran after a helicopter crash. Breaking news this morning coming from Iran as President Ibrahim Raisi was pronounced dead today after being part of a chopper crash yesterday.
Raisi, who's been president since 2021, was returning from a visit to the country's border with Azerbaijan alongside his foreign minister and 7 others. They're flying through mountain terrain in, quote, very cold, rainy, and foggy weather conditions that made it difficult for rescuers to reach the rescue site. The hardline president was seen as a possible successor to Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
Videos being shared across social media this morning after yet another commencement protest related to the Hamas-Israel war.
This time it was George Washington University. Caplin DC reporter Cassandra Alonso is live with us in DC this morning with a look back at the graduation demonstration. Good morning, Cassandra.
Protesters were passionate yesterday during George Washington University's graduation, which was held at the Washington Monument. Although the school had set regulations in place in order to hold a smoother graduation, protesters did not hesitate to share their opinions. Let's take a look. As George Washington University students prepared for their graduation, families feared anti-Israel protesters may take away from their celebration.
And we will never, ever stop fighting for a free Palestine.
After the official GWU protest page, GWUSC Palestine, posted on Instagram mentioning their upcoming appearance at the ceremony, students anticipated interruptions during the graduation.
I'm proud to be a graduate, and I'm proud to have students standing with me.
The ceremony began peacefully, but as the celebration continued, protesters carried out their plans by using painted signs and chants to carry out their message.
Why would you do it? I mean, what's the purpose of it at an event like this? You're not going to make a difference with the people that are at this event.
We will not stop until they properly come to the negotiation table in good faith. And until they do, we're going to be out on the street.
Students actually ended up walking out of the graduation during University President Ellen Greenberg's speech. Reporting from Washington, D.C. for Caplin News, this is Cassandra Alonso.
A marijuana message from the Oval Office. President Biden gives the green light in a major move to lower the penalty for possession. As Caplin's Ellie Ruiz reports, the president posted a video to social media on Thursday.
President Biden has taken another step toward reclassifying marijuana as lower risk. The administration opened for public comment its proposed loosening of federal rules. This came in on Thursday on a public message on the president's social media accounts.
This is monumental. Today, my administration took a major step to reclassify marijuana from a Schedule I drug to a Schedule III drug. It's an important move toward reversing long-standing inequities. Look, folks, no one should be in jail merely for using or possessing marijuana, period. Far too many lives have been upended because of failed approach to marijuana, and I'm committed to righting those wrongs. You have my word on it.
The rescheduling proposal will appear publicly in the Federal Register, opening it up for a 60-day public comment period. For more than 50 years, marijuana has been categorized as a Schedule I substance. That classification is shared by drugs like heroin and ecstasy, considered to have no medical use and high potential for abuse, and subject to the strictest of restrictions. The Justice Department recommended in April that marijuana be rescheduled as a Schedule III controlled substance. That classification is shared by prescription drugs like ketamine and Tylenol with codeine. Biden has already pardoned federal marijuana offenders and urged individual state governors to take similar steps. For Caplin News, I'm Ellie Ruiz.
Ukraine looking to expand its army's manpower this morning in its ongoing war with Russia. The country's new mobilization law came into force on Saturday. It requires all men between the ages of 18 to 60 to register with the military by July 16th, although only those 25 and older can be drafted. The law also requires women who are medics or have pharmaceutical education to enlist. It also allows prisoners to join the military on voluntary basis.
And a big welcome home here in South Florida to all the sailors who spent the past 7 months deployed in the Middle East. On Sunday, Mayport Base in Jacksonville had more than 500 family members and friends waiting for their loved ones to return to them as the USS Carney reached the port. Navy Secretary Carlos del Toro says the crew saw the most combat of any ship since World War II. He also said that he's proud and grateful for their sacrifice. And Anthony, the Fish are looking back-to-back on a series win.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
We looked and we saw more and more, and then we looked more and it was in the grass and on the telephone pole and in the tree and on the leaves.
A 3-year-old boy responsible for the first cicada sighting during what is expected to be a historic year for them. Don't go anywhere. Newsbreak will be back in just 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
A sound of summer is making a comeback. When cicadas are born, they spend the first 17 years of their life underground before they pop out and start to chirp, which is typically very loud and noisy.
And as Mike Biermeister from TMJ4 reports, a very observant 3-year-old may have found the first emergence.
Oh, do you see that over here?
Oh, yeah. Tatum Savage is very observant for a 3-year-old.
What do we got here? What is this one?
So observant that he found the first emergence of cicadas this morning in Wisconsin while on a walk with his grandma.
We looked and we saw more and more, and then we looked more and it was in the grass and on the telephone pole and in the tree and on the leaves.
The cicadas were crawling all over Terry Mess's yard.
I was working in the garden and I saw him squatting down. I'm like, what is he doing? So I came over and I explained what they were to him.
Tatum then got to work collecting the insects one by one with the help of Terry and her husband Barry.
Take a look at all of Tatum's discoveries. As you can see, he's got about 15 cicadas or so in there, and he'll be looking to add more as we enter the summer.
Oh, he was so excited. He spent over an hour here just asking all these questions and finding them. Oh, look at this one, look at that one.
What's missing is the iconic hum that cicadas make. That's because male cicadas take about a week before they start producing sound.
They don't bite, they don't harm the environment, they don't do anything. The birds love them.
And this year is historic, as 2 broods of periodical cicadas are emerging throughout the country. the last time they emerged together back in 1803.
It makes me really excited. I even bought shirts today. Just to remember, be like, remember when you were this small and we found cicadas? Now I can be like, and we found the first ones in Wisconsin.
As the evening winded down, so did the appearance of live cicadas, but that didn't damper Tatum's spirits. A day he and his grandmother will never forget.
That's a little mind-blowing. I really can't believe that this is happening right now, but yeah, it happened. And I guess that's what happens when you're observant and you're kind of a nature lover and you like bugs.
That was Mike Biermeister from TMJ4 reporting. These two broods of cicadas typically spend the month above ground, mating before they reach the end of their cycle span, and the cycle begins again with the next generation.
The vibes in Lone Depot Park are the highest they have been all season this morning as the Marlins have won 2 series in a row. The Fish shut the Mets out on Friday and barely escaped a nail-biter the following night off a walk-off single from Otto Lopez. The momentum did not parlay into Sunday's outing, though, as the Mets held them to just 3 runs. The final score was Mets 7, Marlins 3. Fans will see a familiar face in the Fish's next series as the team prepares to play Christian Yelich and the Brewers. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
I could really use a new tablet. I just don't have the money.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a Pell Grant?
Yes?
You do know you can get a free tablet, right?
Did you say free?
Yeah, free. It's simple. And the application is done in the store.
I could really use a tablet.
Go get one. Another satisfied customer. Stop by Pantotech in the Graham Center at FIU MMC today to speak with one of our associates to get your free tablet.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life. But how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have something called prediabetes. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak today. I'm Valentina Gaspari.
And I'm Anthony Cruz. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.